I'm Lloyd Allender. We got John Lee from St. Louis Real Estate Investors Association. This is our Friday get together on Zoom where we do haves and wants. Got something to buy or sell, trade, got a contractor you want to recommend, you're looking for a contractor. It's a good time to do it. We were just talking here earlier about our speaker this past Tuesday, Greg West. And yeah, I've been in this business for 40 years and I was even back there taking notes from some of his things. And he's a big believer in continuing education too. The last time I ran into him was at the Mr. Landlord conference, just back the first weekend in June. He goes to the Mr. Landlord conference. They give us a table outside to recruit any new members and hand out information about our organization. But and I know one of those ideas he did get from the early termination fee. He got that from Mr. Landlord a couple of years ago. I incorporated a couple of years ago when I went to a Mr. Landlord conference, and it's paid 10 times over for the cost of the conference. Just that one little addition to my leases, because I have just a little explanation. I generally have 2-year leases, but if somebody can't, things happen. They change a job. They have to move out of town for health reasons or whatever else. People are going to break a lease if you don't have something in there, a clause in your lease that says gives them a little way out. They're just going to walk and they're going to blow you off. They're not going to let you know that they're leaving until you find out from the neighbor, hey, there's a moving truck here yesterday and they're gone. I always put, in fact, Mr. Landlord suggested a month and a half of rent, additional month and a half of rent. And I use that because that's generally it takes me 6 weeks to get a house cleaned up and turned around, advertised before I can find a good tenant for it. And sometimes longer, but if I hold it for a good tenant. Greg uses 2 months. He charges a 2-month additional rent, and you give him a good recommendation. I tell him, hey, you pay the extra fee equal to 1.5 months of rent. I'll give you good recommendations. I'll say you satisfy the requirements of your lease, and you can move on with not going to leave any black marks on your credit or anything. So, and it works. It's worked several times for me. I had a couple of families that had to move on in between leases, and like I said, it's paid for itself several times over, just including that one. But I am going to put that auto renewal as the other the one that I could have paid. I paid the price for another seminar there by not doing it. In the just in this past year, I had a tenant. I was going to look for a house, and they told me that the lease came up. Oh, well, they were looking for a house. Okay, they were planning on buying a house. I said we just go month to month. So, which I got that clause in there. It just converts to a month to month. And maybe if you don't have it in the state of Missouri, if you don't have a clause in your lease, it's assumed that the terms will remain the same. It just automatically converts to a month-to-month agreement as long as you're both satisfying the terms of the contract. But and I let it do that. But then 9 months later, it's like, oh, hey, you never told me you were buying a house, about your house. Hey, what's going on? Well, yeah, no, they didn't find a house yet, so we went ahead and got them signed up on a new lease now. But that's 9 months of lost income because it was below market when I rented it a year and 9 months earlier. Anyway, also before we get started, I also want to make just a quick announcement about our August meeting. We already got the McMiller brothers, Willie and Jonathan McMiller. If you were at last Tuesday's meeting, you heard me say it, or you got your newsletter, if you're on the mailing list. They're St. Louis brothers, 2 brothers in St. Louis, born and raised in North County. They're doing rehabbing units, flipping houses in North County. One of them is Jonathan is a realtor and a contractor, and his older brother Willie is a stand-up comedian by trade, actor and kind of stand-up comedian. So combination of the two caught HGTV's interest, and they made a pilot for HGTV. Unfortunately, I don't know. I haven't heard that got picked up yet. But anyway, you can see if you get, go to YouTube, search on My Flippin' Family, or just go on Google and My Flippin' Family with KMOV. KMOV TV Channel 4 here did an article, news article on them, and it's up still on YouTube. So it's a good, give a little background on the two guys, and should be a fun evening, along with Ted Drew's. We're having Ted Drew's for the first 50 people that come through the door. Ted Drew's frozen custard. It's good. Always a summer favorite. So looking forward to that. And also, we got to go. John and I don't know if John saw it. We got an email from David Soto from Soto Property Solutions this week. He said he wasn't going to be on, or he would have made an announcement himself. He got an email from the St. Louis Housing Authority, the director of St. Louis Housing Authority. And I don't know if anybody online here today has any Section 8 properties or houses that are on this housing choice voucher program in the city. Apparently they've been having some issues getting paid, and it caught word. The executive director of the St. Louis Housing Authority caught word of it and has shaken some things loose. In fact, they're looking for a new director of that program. Apparently they were kind of slow to get their landlords paid, and she had a lot of complaints from her landlords, and I think somebody lost their job over it, and she's looking for a new housing director. In the meantime, she's taken some corrective action herself to get the checks out to landlords that have been providing housing to folks with those vouchers. And I don't know, is anybody interested in that? We can post it up there. She's also doing having some Zoom meetings on, let's see, it's Wednesday, July 27th, to explain what the changes are going to be. So if anybody's interested in that, we can post it. Or if you've got a house in that, or an apartment in that system, you probably got an email just like David did. But anyway, glad to hear that the housing authority is realizing they do have some issues, and they're taking some corrective action. So,
Lloyd,
yes,
yeah, I've got one in the city voucher thing.
okay.
The lady is living for long. Lady is living there for long, many years.
Mm-hmm.
And since March, they cut it in half, the rent. They deposit directly, but it cut in half. I tried to call them, nobody answered, leave message, nobody coming back to us, like that. Okay. So finally, I told them to apply for that help from the Missouri, state Missouri,
Right. Mm-hmm.
And I filled them yesterday out and I have sent it to her so she can send it to the state. So I don't know what's going to happen there.
Okay. So did you get an email from?
Not that I know of, not yet.
Elena Green. Yeah. Apparently it just came. I don't know. It was yesterday or day before that.
I got an email. They have the Zoom meeting. I think they have run 3 sessions. And July 27th from noon and the whole afternoon, the 3 sessions. But actually, I had something, I can't see my email anymore. I want to Zoom the meeting ID. So if you can send it out the email or you post on the REIA website, then all the people can see it.
Yeah, okay.
Great, yeah.
I've got it. I don't know. Maybe John, you know the best way to put the link out for that Zoom?
We could probably just copy and paste the email if you want to send it out that way. Maybe Diana can send it out on an email to members.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay, yeah, I don't know if we want to send it to all of our members. They may have, well, I guess we could. If they don't have any vouchers in the city. Wouldn't be a problem, I guess. Okay, yeah, that way we'll get it out to our members even that aren't on the call here today. But anyway, yeah, David, thank you to David Soto. I don't think see, who is it, Stacy is St. Louis rep here. I don't see her on either. So, okay, yeah, well, I'll make a note of that. I'll have Diana. I'll forward it to Diana and ask her to email to our entire member.
The
Okay.
worst part about this is nobody responding anything,
Okay, yeah, apparently there's been some issues with getting payments out there, but it, yeah, Mark, on Wednesday, I guess that's next Wednesday, July 27th, they're gonna have 1, 2, 3 sessions starting from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. and 4 p.m. They're gonna have some Zoom sessions explaining what the changes are gonna be in
Oh,
the program.
that'll be great.
So hopefully, yeah, hopefully. We did, okay.
Yeah, thanks,
It's,
John.
let's see here. Wednesday, the 27th, 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m., 2 to 3:30 p.m., and then 4 to 5:30.
Yeah.
Is that the Zoom ID?
That's the
863?
Zoom ID. That's
That is it.
Okay, okay.
Just click on that at that time, and I think it's just gonna, should take you directly to that Zoom meeting.
No, no password, nothing?
Probably not, no. There was no
Okay.
password in the email. You just
All right,
gave,
great.
Nope, just click on, you'll be fine.
just click on that link and it should
Just
take.
set your timer, those, the kind like this, that you don't have to register for. You don't necessarily get a reminder or anything. And that's one of the problems I have with a lot of the stuff. I prefer when they register, because at least I can put it on my calendar and I'll get a notice. So this one, you just gotta set your own timer. Just be aware of that.
Yeah, be aware. Yeah, it's either 11 on next Wednesday at 11, at 2, or at 4, whichever session you want to get in. They're using the same ID for all three of the sessions. There you go. Steve and Shen Lu both. Something. Okay. Those are the 2 items or 3 items, however, when we covered that I wanted to talk to before we get going here today. So what's anybody else got? Anybody else got anything going on that they want to?
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
I have a house in U City, and the neighbor cut down, the whole tree branch is on neighbor's side. They cut down tree branch and let it fall to our yard, totally occupied more than half of our backyard. Kids cannot play, we cannot mow the lawn. It's a U City rental house. And the U City came, said it should be us to clean that up, because the tree branch was already hanging over our air, above the property. It's our air right, because tree branch hanging over there, over on our yard, it's our responsibility. And I found out the Missouri law, wherever the tree base is, that determines the ownership of the tree, which means they own the whole tree, including the tree branch hanging over other sides. So in this case, they cut it and let it fall. It's not due to act of God, like storm damage. They cut at the bottom of the roots, just conveniently dump to other people's yard. And the U City did not hold them to clean up, because they think that tree branch hanging over us, it's our property instead of tree owner's property. So what do you recommend me to do?
Well, it doesn't sound like they're being such a good neighbor. I mean, anytime I have tree trimmings done, I hang over, I talk to the neighbor. Yeah, and actually, I think if it's been over years.
It's a rental house. It's a rental house. I don't have that owner's phone, and U City will not give it to me.
Cities will never do anything. I've had this come up a lot. They'll tell you it's an act of God, even though you said it's not, because I know it's not.
It's not act of God. It's a
I know that.
cut.
Yeah, I realize that, but it's never really an act of God, because if God did it, he would have put it in nice little logs and fixed my fence. Okay, that's what God would have done. What happens is though, you're responsible for it because in the meantime, it's in your yard and it's a bothersome. What I've done in the past is I've just taken a couple of pictures and put ads on Craigslist, free firewood. Now, this is probably the wrong time of year to do that, or maybe a tougher time, but that's what you can do. Ultimately though, Shin-Lu, you're going to be responsible because I've argued with Ferguson. I've argued with Hazelwood. I've had stuff come up. U City, I'm sure is no difference. It's a litigation point is what it is. I know what Missouri law says, and I know what the insurance companies say. You're actually on your own. So you can get frustrated with the neighbor, but he's not, like Lloyd said, he's not being a good neighbor. And they're usually not good neighbors if it's going to cost them money or if there's any friction at all. You're going to have to deal with it. But because it's your house. So how you deal with it is up to you, but you may try the free firewood thing. Other than that,
No,
I don't know what to tell you.
John, I'm not concerned about the cost of cleaning up, okay? Because that's not a big deal. I'm more concerned about the legality of it. So if you go to the court, go to civil court, who is responsible? Because that tree branch is the neighbor's property. It's not my property. So if you city say they can let it do it, dump to our yard, and I can do the same. I can cut it and return to their backyard, dump to their backyard. I'm
You can do
returning the
that.
property.
Yep, you can do
Right?
it. It's litigation point. You're going to spend probably more money on a lawyer. Check with your insurance company, but they always told me the same thing.
I know, but what I'm saying is, if you say they say they're staying out of it, so if I dump it back, they cannot say anything either, right?
Correct. They won't say
Okay.
anything.
Okay.
Yep. You can cut it up and put it in his yard. I've done that with other stuff. You end up getting in all these friction points with the neighbor though. And to me, it wasn't worth it. To me, what I did, my best basically best thing I've ever did is just put free firewood in there. You know?
No, I'm not concerned about getting rid of it.
Okay.
I'm not concerned about. Okay, but I'm saying is the way they cut it, let it fall to other people's yard. In this case, maybe the damage to clean that up is maybe $500, $1,000. I don't care. But what if the same tree branch, it just happened to fall on your roof, cut your house in half, create a $200,000 damage? I say legally, it's the same principle.
Yep. I know it's litigation. You're getting into insurance stuff and they're going to fight it out in court. I'm just telling you the immediate thing.
I know you're talking about practical part. I'm talking about legal part. Is if the insurance company, they're going to fight against the other side of insurance company, what law does that govern? Negligence?
Call your lawyer. I don't know what to tell you. Call your lawyer.
Where's Kathy Davis?
I can't argue the point. It's litigation, Shin-Lu. That's what you're getting into.
Yeah.
The city is not going to help you.
Okay. Well, does Kathy Davis come every Friday anymore?
First Friday.
First Friday. You can come back on the first Friday.
Here's the best solution. Talk to Kathy, but go ahead. Just go ahead. If you want to clean it up and sue them in small claims court. Make them show up. What'll probably happen is they won't show up. You'll get a judgment and then you can good luck collecting it. But you're going to spend a lot of time and resources in the meantime.
And I don't care about that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't care about that because it's a hassle and it's even you get triple damage. So what? It's not worth my time. No, it's not worth it. But I'm just saying I need to learn who is responsible. At least I learned that tree trunk belongs to them. It's their property, not my property, as your city inspector says.
I understand. That's how it works, though.
All right.
Yep. There's nothing. It's a litigation point. That's what they're going to end up telling you. You can fight it out in court. It ends up costing way more time and resources and money than it's worth. What I ended up doing is the guy ended up cutting up these big chunks for me. I just put free firewood in there. It took me a few weeks, but somebody came and got it. That's what I did with mine. My fence was messed up. It's not worth messing with it. Because we just got it fixed. It cost me a couple $100, but it's not worth the time. As far as I'm concerned, you're in the right. You're absolutely right. It's his tree. It's absolutely his tree. If it falls on your house, your insurance company is going to get into litigation with them and they're going to deal with it. That's actually a better situation than what you're dealing with as far as what you're affected with, because they will do it for you because you got insurance and hopefully he has insurance. If not, they'll fix it and then they'll go after him. But what normally happens is they get together and they'll just kind of work out a settlement and fix it. But if it's in your yard, you're just out of luck, as far as I know. That's what happened to me several times.
What about the city ordinance? They cannot
City
litter
don't care.
other people's.
Yeah.
Oh, they
City's not gonna
care.
get involved in that,
They
no.
care. They care.
Okay.
They told the tree owner they only need to cut 7 feet because that was the portion original in that yard. The rest
Okay,
of tree
well, you
branch
can
is
you can
40
argue
feet.
with them. It's fine. I mean,
Okay.
I'm just telling you what happened to me. It didn't get anywhere.
Okay.
Yeah, I wish you well on that, but that's exactly what happens, you know?
You got a fireplace, just go cut away. That's how I get all my firewood. It's, from tree trimmings on my properties.
There's no good answer with any of that kind of stuff, but that's what it boils down to.
No. Yeah, it doesn't do you any good. If they're being a bad neighbor, it doesn't do you any good to treat them the same way they treated you by throwing it back across the fence. No, in my opinion. No.
Mhm. Yeah, and Amber said you can call Kathy. Yeah, you can call their office anytime if you're looking for
Sure.
that. That's more,
Yeah.
I don't know if that's strictly a landlord issue, but I'm sure they know about it,
Yeah.
you know, but
Mhm.
my experience is it's a litigation thing. That's what they always tell you. And that's just how it works, man. There's nothing, I've gotten really upset about it, just like you are, Shinlu, a couple.
I'm not upset. I'm not upset. I'm just disappointed that the
Well, maybe you're happy about it, but I wasn't.
no. But the municipality, those inspectors, including the director of community development and including the city manager, they have no idea about the Missouri law, who the ownership of tree branch is. That's what I'm disappointed. And
I
they
know.
govern everything based on their interpretation. They thought they should belong to the neighbor, the tree hanging over that part, instead of they should have known is to belong to where the base hole, where that is on. So that's the legal knowledge, basic knowledge as a government officer, whatever that. And so that's what I'm talking about. So, okay, that's why I just want to educate everybody. That's all.
My experience is they don't care. At 4 o'clock,
Yeah.
they go home. And they
Yeah.
don't care about you at the end of the day. They don't care if it's your tree or the neighbor's tree, your fence, the neighbor's carport. They don't care about any of it. I've dealt with all this a few times, and it's just, you know, all you can do is bother yourself with time and
Mhm.
resources and money.
Yeah.
That's all it's going to do. I mean,
Right.
that's my experience. I wish you well on that, but that's just, you know, I don't know of anybody that's had any better success than what you're having.
No, and I'm not surprised the city workers are not aware of state law either. So
They don't
that's
care. That's my
not
experience.
what they get
They don't
paid for.
care.
That's not what they care
You
about.
know?
So in fact, I took something to small claims court one time and was certainly not satisfied with what the judge told me. And I found later there were a lot of other people, even some attorneys. He was making decisions that were not according to state or federal law. And he finally got booted out, but not soon enough for my case. Anyway, we got, let's see. Christopher is looking for a sub to install a hot water tank in South City. Know any good subs? I don't know, but I don't know about anybody else in South City, but I think Lowe's will do installations, and they use Trio Plumbing. That's how I got connected with Trio Plumbing. You've been on here before. You've heard me recommend Trio Plumbing. I first got connected to them through an installation of a water heater that I bought at Lowe's. And I figured out they're reasonable enough on their rates that they're accepting what Lowe's says for installations on water heaters. They must be pretty reasonable, and they're very knowledgeable. And I called them many times since that first water heater. So in fact, I got another water heater coming up. I'm going to have them installed too. But anybody else got any recommendations for a plumbing subcontractor or a plumber that installs water heaters? I used to
Okay,
have. Yeah.
I have something to share, not related to a water heater, but I just want to share the Best Buy. They have a total tech program, which costs $200, but it has a lot of benefits. So if you buy dishwasher, microwave, appliances from them, and they can come, if it's attached to the property, they have to come to install it. They can install it for free. They can take it away for free, and unlimited appliances for $200 a year. And they instead of you get 1 year manufacturing warranty, you get 2 years manufacturing warranty. So like microwave, I pay plus because like microwave dishwasher is attached to the property, and you don't have to pay sales taxes, 10% sales tax you don't have to pay. So it's I already made all the money back because microwave, I usually pay people like $75, $80 to install it. And dishwasher is very common. You pay somebody $125, $150 to install it. And plus you had a hassle to haul away. They do all that, all included in $200 a year. Best Buy. Okay, bye.
Okay, and you don't have, that doesn't have to be at the same address. I was gonna say
Unlimited, no.
unlimited, different addresses. Okay, so that's a
Correct.
that's a great landlord program. I didn't realize that. I did purchase a refrigerator last year from Best Buy because they had the best price on the one I was looking for.
They total tech covers anything you buy from them. But the only thing you don't have to pay sales taxes is anything they install and attach to a property. And I asked the reason, what's the rationale? Why you don't have to pay dishwasher or microwave the sales taxes? They said it's because once it attach to a property, you improve your property, so it enhance your property value. You pay that through the property taxes annually. So therefore, you don't pay double taxes. But the refrigerator, you still have to pay sales taxes. But they also can swamp it out for you for free. You can have 6 days try out. I have a refrigerator, stainless, and after a week or two, I found it's not fingerprint resistant. So I switched to another one. They come just swamped out for free. That you have 60 days to swamp out. It's all included in that. So no hassle. I don't have to think about hauling back and return and get a new one. No, nothing. They will do everything. I love it.
Sounds pretty good. Yeah, I didn't think about that they have that because I want to say I paid like $60 for delivery and install, and I did call them. Hey, I got it. Never reminds me. They were supposed to swap the door, the hinges, and I paid an extra $15 or $20. If I would have been there, when they picked it up, I wouldn't have bothered. But the tenant was going to be there, so I just went in, paid it when I bought the refrigerator because I knew the door had to be changed. And they didn't change the door. And I already paid for it. And the delivery guys told the tenant that, oh no, we don't do that. I guess they thought they could just blow it off with the tenant. When I found out from the tenant later on that the tenant actually ended up changing himself. He got in his toolbox and changed the door. I said, well, heck, I wish you would have told me that earlier. I went back to them and they supposedly, I need to go back to see, they said it may take a billing cycle to get refunded on that. Thank you for reminding me. I need to go back and make sure they refunded my door swapping fee, my charge card that I put it on.
Yeah, I stepped away for a second, but I think I understood most of what Shen-Lu said about Best Buy. But hot water heaters, I think I've had Dole heating, air conditioning, and duct cleaning, and they've done a pretty good job. And
Okay, Dole, D-O-L-E.
and I think they do hot water heaters too. Was cheaper than 4 or 5 other people I talked to at Dole, and their number, well, I don't know, maybe they need to look it up online. I think this is an old ad I'm looking at. This guy might have been canned. It's at Dole HVAC. Well, I take that back. Maybe I need to look it up, but Dole heating and air conditioning, or if Chris wants to look that up online, they do a pretty good job. They've got like 6 or 7 teams, so I think they work pretty fast too.
And is it Dole, D-O-L-E or D-O-A-L?
D-O-L-E.
D-O-L-E, okay. Okay, yeah, we can look that up, or Chris can look it up.
Oh, doleheatingandair.com.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Very good.
For how much installation water heater?
I don't remember. I'm sorry, Shen, but it was like Lloyd said, I had Lowe's with the hot water heater and Trio put the hot water heater in, but Dole, I believe, would do that also. But I'm the only using the comparison of the furnace they replaced, and the furnace was cheaper than 3 or 4 other people we talked to.
How much do you pay for a water heater install, and how much for the water heater on the furnace?
Oh, the hot water heater, I want to say maybe it was 300 or 400, but that was like at least 5 years ago. So I don't know what the prices are now. And the furnace was probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 1,200 or less. And again, that was about 3 years ago. So I don't know how prices have changed since then.
Yeah, prices have definitely gone up in the last couple of years, so
Yeah.
check them out. Okay. Hopefully that helps Chris out. Got him a couple of ideas on where to look. Anybody else? Well, let's let you know, Bruce, you were missed at our Tuesday meeting. We had a number of people we hadn't seen for a long time that came back to hear Greg West, and somebody was asking about you. If Bruce Stott was coming back, so
Yeah, I think Tom finally came back after, I don't know, 2.5 years.
Yeah, it's what Tom. It was Tom.
Yeah, and I was still only like 2 days removed from a negative COVID test because I'd had COVID the week before. So I didn't want to take a chance on maybe still passing along to other people. Yeah, because this one, I think I mentioned it at John's meeting a couple of days ago, is really seems to be more contagious because not only my wife had gone to California and brought it back from California and she had it. Then a week later I had it. And my niece ended up getting it, but she's in Florida, and nobody directly in my family had ever had any of the prior 4 variants. So this one sounds like it's worse, although it might not be as severe. So yeah, and it looks like lots of media stuff. Of course, that's, a lot of people don't believe the media anymore. Is saying that it's really bad. Lots of different places, even the Dr. Garza with the task force in the St. Louis area is saying it's worse. And now we've got less restrictions because people don't want to go back to wearing masks or doing social distancing or all that stuff. So yeah, it's getting a lot more people this time around, it seems.
So you'll testify it is more severe.
Yeah, I didn't have symptoms actually. I felt worse the week before I got it. And now I'm kind of feeling worse the week after I got it.
You sound a little rough, a little hoarse in your throat too. So
yeah, I don't know if because I've got allergies to mold, and mold has been high for like 3 months. So I don't know if it's that. I think you said you had that problem too, but
yeah. Okay, well, glad you're feeling, or hope you're feeling better.
Yeah, just a nasal drip, can't get rid of.
And we appreciate you being concerned about the rest of us and staying home.
Yeah, be careful. Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else got anything going on today here? Oh, let's see. I just got a text from somebody. Oh, it was Ann Bearden. She said she didn't get it was 33 minutes ago. She said she didn't get a reminder. So she should have gotten one.
Yeah, I didn't get one either. I still
okay.
Like a minute or two after, and I went back from a couple weeks ago and signed up.
Diana might have missed get one out today. Okay, well, I'm gonna talk to her about sending out the email. I'll forward on the email to her and get that out to our membership too. And a reminder that to get the Friday morning. Some folks wait till the Friday morning. Like I know I got one yesterday or day before. A reminder, but okay, maybe she missed the last one. Anyway, anybody else got anything? Got anything you're looking for? Got a project you want to give us a report on? Anybody doing any rehabs? Got any new acquisitions? No new acquisitions? No, I'm not making too many new acquisitions either. My wife keeps me on a pretty tight range. She doesn't want me to get involved in any more projects.
Well, for what it's worth, I don't know anybody would be interested, but apparently the Missouri sales tax is going to be, weekend is August 5th through 7th. Of course, that's supposedly meant for students buying student stuff like notebooks, all that, but it includes clothes and even computers. So and of course it varies by municipality and even by the store. So if somebody was going to buy, say, a computer, they might be able to save on the taxes on August 5th through 7th if they wanted to buy a new computer, but they need to make sure that the store and the municipality are following the tax guidelines where they're not collecting sales tax that weekend.
Yeah, thanks for that reminder. Yeah, I usually look for any large purchase like a computer, or that's usually the weekend I go out shoe shopping. I look at it. I don't, that's about the only thing I wear that I wear out.
Yeah, anything that I guess can be considered a school purchase. It used to be just, notebooks and pencils and all that, and then it spread out to clothes and computers and everything else. Yeah.
Need computers and printers now too. So if you're looking for a computer or printer, yeah, it's a good weekend to buy one. Start shopping now and have one picked out that you're gonna go get and buy it tax-free.
Although they usually say that the best time to buy computers is like the Black Friday weekend. The prices go down substantially for that. I guess even better than Prime Day or Target Day or whatever you want to call it. So if you didn't need a computer till Black Friday, you might get a better deal then.
Yeah, Black Friday though, you got, well, I guess at the brick and mortar stores, you got to stand in line outside the door before they open up. But I don't do that. I do not do any shopping on Black Friday. I stay away from all the retail stores. But I guess
don't they even provide give those prices online too?
Online
so you don't
too.
have to
Okay,
stand
nowadays.
online. I think they started doing that too, so you could save money and they could make more money.
No. Okay, thank you for that reminder. Oh. Anybody else got anything? Got anything for us? Well, if not, I don't have anything more. John, you got any last minute?
No, I really don't have anything. I mean,
Okay.
we talked about our next meeting. We meet every Friday at 11, and Kathy Davis, first Friday of the month.
First Friday, and let's see, next Friday. No, next Friday is the last Friday of July. So
Yep, we got
2 weeks from today. Kathy should be on the 5th of August.
You can always call her. I mean,
Next week, yeah.
Shinlu's gone now, but you can, maybe she went to call her. I don't know.
Yeah, probably.
That's what I would do. But you're out of luck with trees. I'm just telling you, from personal experience, there's nothing you can do. It's no good.
Now, the only good I make out of it is I cut it up and I use it for firewood in my fireplace. So.
Yep.
Yeah, didn't we have the same kind of thing about a week ago? Was it one of the Anns or somebody else who was complaining about a tree fell over their fence and the neighbors didn't want to take care of it? And I guess we had the same deal, even though the law says it's their responsibility, especially if it's a dead tree or you knew it was dead or dying. All court cases have favored the person who complained about a dead tree in their neighbor's yard that fell on their yard. But like John said, you'd have to go through the courts, and that's time and money, and it's probably cheaper, like you said, if you can put a ad in Craigslist or something like that, if you can get somebody to take it away for you, because it's nuts. Because you're right, John. It's kind of like what the old president of the group used to say. He wished he'd done things differently, because I think he ended up paying lawyers sometimes, and it cost him more money to the guy who was married to Ruth Keith Elliott said a couple of times, I think, that he wished he'd just done things differently because it cost him more money to hire a lawyer and fight things, even though he was right. So.
Well, it boils down to just like the old thing my mom used to say, pick your battles, is it worth it? Because it's going to take your time, money, and resources. Mainly the time is not worth it to me. nowadays. I guess you know what you might do, what might even be fun though, you try to get on like Judge Judy or one of those kind of shows. That would probably be I think that's they got a few $1,000 limit, but that'd be just like your small claims court, because you can go in, but collecting the money is a whole different ball game. And then all you're going to do is have more friction with your neighbors. That's just my experience with it.
Yeah.
It's just not worth it.
Judge Judy's in California. I saw the tree thing, which pointed out that the law was on the side of the person who, the tree fell, the yard where the bad tree fell into, and Judge Wapner, if you remember Judge Wapner, that was probably 20 years ago, said, yeah, it's the neighbor's fault for having a bad tree, but you have to go to court and spend time and money, and is it worth it?
Yep. That's what happened to me. It wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth anything. And I've had really good luck though, just putting stuff out for free in the free section of Craigslist. Like I said, maybe firewood isn't a hot topic right now, but it will be, if it's not in your way, somebody will come and get it. I mean, I had a tree that was, the neighbor did cut it in 7 to 8 foot sections, but it filled the whole yard and you could not get a truck back there. And the guy who came and got it actually brought his chainsaw and brought him a wheelbarrow and hauled it out of there. Probably took him all afternoon, but I finally found somebody. It took me a few weeks, but I mean, it was going to cost me $700 to get it removed. $700-800 is what the guy wanted. I had a couple of people look at it and that was the best estimate. So somebody who wants it though, just, it just depends on how you market it, really.
Yeah, besides Craigslist, there's also Free Cycle. And for what it's worth, Scott isn't on today, but Scott's dad cuts up trees. I don't know, he probably has a pretty good price, and Shen's not here to tell that too either. But so there are a few people that might make it easier. So if Scott's dad cut it up into small enough chunks, then other people might be willing to take it away easier too. So
Yep, absolutely. Well, it's always a bad subject though. I've had the same discussion with the cities a few times, and you're not going to win. It's a litigation thing, even if you're in the right, and you usually are, or you wouldn't be there. But it doesn't matter. They don't care. They go home at 4 o'clock and they just, they don't even think about it. So that's just my experience. Not to say anything bad about the workers, but that's their job, is not to worry about that.
Yeah, not worth the time and energy.
Mm-hmm.
Got better things to spend our energy on, expend our energy and worry.
Mm-hmm. Just
move on, take care, get it taken care of and move on. So, okay. Well, thank you all for coming today. Thanks for the reminders, and and I'll talk to Diana and get this notice out to have her send an email out to all the membership about this Zoom next week with the executive director of the Housing Authority here in St. Louis.
Okay.
All righty.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Good seeing you.
Okay.
Yes,
Thanks for coming on.
Or not seeing you.
Take care.
Like me.
See you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.